Okay, what is up everybody? Gav is Lightning here, and welcome to post-release day unboxing for Tuesday, April 1st, 2025. And before everyone says what on earth is going on, you probably hear an incredibly annoying high-pitched droning sound going on. That is the fire alarm in my condo facility. And the problem is the fire alarm in this condo facility has a nasty habit of during the middle of the spring, especially when it's very rainy, of going off as a malfunction. Now this is actually a common problem with older fire detection systems. And of course, this building is old and they don't ever feel like replacing it or upgrading it because the condo association is a bunch of cheapskate motherfuckers. So this alarm has gone off no less than 3 times already today. It actually went off once when I was out picking up Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. But yeah, I know because as I was driving back from the game store, there were 3 fire trucks outside, which means that they went off, the fire departments were required to come here and check and then turn them off. As I was unpacking, I put in some DLC codes, which we're going to talk about in this video, and I was entering those into the PlayStation Store and talking to my girlfriend on the phone. It went off again. Now it took them about another 15 minutes because they had to come out here again from the fire station. Alright, they had to come out again and deactivate the alarm. So that was about, I'd say, half an hour ago, and then all of a sudden it went on again. And at this point it's absolutely ridiculous because what this means is that the fire alarm is broken, but the problem is that my condo association has no on-site superintendent, which I don't even know how it's legal, but they have no on-site superintendent to come here and check out any problems or fix anything. So this alarm could literally be going off for the rest of today, I shit you not. And I have no right, or I have no power to do anything about it besides just calling the condo association and complain. So I said I've been waiting over half an hour now for the fire alarm to go off. It has not. Probably because, let's be honest, the fire department has better things to do than come back here every 10 minutes because the fire alarm is a piece of shit. So I said I'm just going to go ahead and film my unboxing video. I apologize, guys. Obviously, it's annoying to you. Imagine living here and having to hear this time the entire time today. Alright? Really hoping that something happens, that maybe the fire department says fuck this and turns off the fire alarm or something. I don't know what they could possibly do, but obviously there's a problem. Alright? So, let's go through the unboxing. Hell, maybe there'll be a chance that the fire alarm gets turned off during the unboxing, who knows. And then we'll talk about how we're going to handle today, because today is a special day, in regards to gameplay. Alright, so, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. You might be saying, what the fuck, really? A lot of people are saying that right now. They're like, really? This game exists? You're telling me the game is the 4th installment in the Final Fantasy VII series? That's right. And of course, it's funny, because Final Fantasy VII, I hate to say it, but oh how the mighty have fallen. Once the definitive #1 role-playing game in the world, now has kind of fallen by the wayside, because a lot of the decisions of management at Square Enix, let's face it. The fact that they keep coming out with these action games, right? They're steering the series in a weird direction that really have nothing to do with the mainstream series. The fact that Final Fantasy XV, it took such a departure from the traditional Final Fantasy model that a lot of people got turned off, right? Now, I played the original Final Fantasy VII how long ago at this point? You know what I mean? It was like 2 weeks ago, I believe. And I personally eventually liked the combat system. I thought the combat system was quite interesting and fun once you figured it out. But I thought the game was far too linear at the beginning. It took way too long to get to an open world part of the game. I thought that the plot was far too convoluted and overdramatic, and that by the end of the game, most people were left scratching their heads saying, what the fuck did I just play? And, it was funny because, as usual in Japan, it was a huge bestseller. It did alright in the rest of the world, don't get me wrong. But then they came out with a sequel a couple of years back called Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. And this one starred Cloud's friend Zack, and this kid, and a few other supporting characters going through Shinra. There was some asshole who was trying to desert Shinra and destroy everything through some kind of clone system. And they went through missions, changing things and doing certain things. Very convoluted, very confusing. And the thing that pissed people off the most is that when you beat the game, there was no ending. Cloud is in the game, but never played a real major role. He's in the end of the game, where he went and was what he's doing, why he's even in it. Very confusing, really. Very convoluted. At the end of the game, his friend supposedly sacrifices himself and dies to save Cloud, even though it's never clear what the fuck is going on, alright? And then it didn't have a definitive ending, like it didn't explain anything. And then come to find out later on, if you wanted to spend extra money, you got a game that fleshed out a bit more of the story. So, in this regard, a lot of people got incredibly turned off and said, what the fuck? So let me get this straight. First game we played, 20-30 hours of gameplay, suffer through the very linear game, till it's finally open world and better, really confusing plot, really annoying characters in a lot of cases, and, it's that game that had an ending, definitive ending, boom, it's over. But then they decided to make a sequel to continue the story. The story is incredibly confusing in the sequel. Again, no one really understands it, knows what's going on, and Sure, I'm sure there are people who can very logically map out what's going on in these games. The problem is to the layperson, to the common person, the story makes no fucking sense. It's too confusing. And this is why what the problem is with this line of Final Fantasy games, Final Fantasy VII, is that people have always had amazing, gripping stories. If you have a story that's so overdramatic and overblown that no one gets it, then you're going to lose your audience. And I think that's what happened with the Final Fantasy series, alright? So now, here we are, years later. They said, oh, we're going to continue it again. Like, oh my god, are you fucking serious? Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It's the fourth and supposedly second part of this trilogy of Final Fantasy VII remakes. We're starring Cloud. Supposedly the story is that the world is in danger. We don't know why. I guess we're hopefully going to find out as we play the game. Why is the world ending? What happened? I thought that Cloud saved the world with what he did at the end of Final Fantasy VII Remake. I guess not. So the world is ending, supposedly. There's only a few days left, and Cloud is to go around the world trying to save people. What that entails, I have no flipping clue. But everything's being destroyed, monsters are invading, crazy shit's happening, Cloud's running around the planet, going against crazy opposition, trying to save everyone. So again, a major departure from the previous game, because in this game, you know, the last one had a time travel aspect. This one you're only playing in one part of the game, the middle. That's it. The whole game you play the middle of Final Fantasy VII. And what it is, if you remember in the previous games, it was a party of 3 who each had their own unique role. And you could switch between different, say, a material, so you could have one, okay, in one setting, the guy's a healer, but then when the enemy gets staggered, now we go for all-out attack mode. Well, you're only playing one part this time, and this party's different combinations with the characters in the game. And these combinations allow them to basically have those classes, so you could have a mage, and a warrior, and a Ketchi. They can have all these different combinations with the characters you find throughout the course of the game that have different abilities, and it has that same kind of stagger bar and the stuff that was in the other game. Now there's new stuff too. Now I got a few downloadable, hold on, let me grab a paper here, a few downloadable trading cards for the game that we're assuming they were GameStop only pre-order bonuses here. They are, I got the Cloud Strife card, so that's right, the Cloud Strife, the fan favorite character from Final Fantasy VII. We got the Yuffie Kisaragi card, and now we've got the Tifa Lockhart card. Now I don't know what any of these games really mean, okay? I don't know how they're really going to pan out during the course of the game, and the game's gameplay. But, like, yeah, it's basically going to be new characters and things to use. Now, apparently, from what people are saying, the game is only it has like 40-something hours of gameplay, and after 40 hours, your patience runs out, okay? The game gets boring, but then you just start the card game up. If you found the entire game boring, you didn't complete the game in 40 hours of gameplay, or maybe you missed a critical Tifa naval during the beach scene, you can reset and just play the card game from the beginning. Now, in addition to that, what people are saying is that, well, even though, yeah, technically it's 40 hours, there are ways in the game to either make it less tedious or skip all the boring shit. Now, I have no idea what those are. I didn't buy the strategy guide because, get this, Google is free. And I said, now wait a minute, why would I spend my precious time researching something when I can just complain to my stream chat? Do I really see myself spending 5 minutes on a game that's the 4th in the series I should have ended with the first game? In a lot of ways, I know I'm saving a lot of negative stuff. Don't get me wrong, I've invested quite a lot of time and effort into this series, playing both the original game, Crisis Core, and Remake. It's not that I hate it, it's more that I'm baffled by it. Like, what's the creative direction of Square Enix? Who's in charge, and where are they going with it? And it's kind of funny, because a fan tweeted me last night and said, well, Gav, you may be wondering why they can't... The combat is so different from Final Fantasy VII Remake, because they fired the guy who was in charge of the first game. And it's like, well, if you knew that it was bad, why wouldn't you just make a new game instead of making another sequel? I don't get it. It just baffles me. But for me, here's the thing. Here's why at the core of it, here's why I'm playing it. I've already invested so much time into this game series that playing the first 2 installments of it, I need to play the 4th. You know what I mean? I want to see the resolution. Even if the ending is horrible, I have to see it. I have to experience it because I already invested so much into it. And, I want to see how it ends, okay? So that's why I'm playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So now, after I said all that, let's actually get to the unboxing aspect of the video. As you can see, it's incredibly basic. And you may be saying to yourself, but Gav, why are you playing this on the PlayStation 5 when you play Final Fantasy VII and Remake on the PC? It's very simple. I lost all my save data on the PC when I was messing around with settings and got confused because I haven't gotten any better at this job in the 17 years I've been doing it. So even if there was a feature in this game to import save data from the previous game, and maybe I got something out of it, I couldn't do it. It's just not possible, alright? So I said, you know what? I'm going to go with that console that, again, new-gen consoles. I love the PS5 for the fact that I don't have to do any work to set it up, for the player base, for the better online play from PC, even though it's the exact same. More often than not, if there's a cross-platform game, I got it on PlayStation 5, except for Street Fighter 6. I decided in this case I'm going to get it on PS5. Doesn't really matter, there's no real advantage to buying it on either console, okay? Despite the fact that I'm convinced it's better on PC. So it says here, Let's see. Defy destiny together. Cloud and his comrades escape the fallen hero, escape the city of Midgar in pursuit of the fallen hero Sephiroth. As they travel across the world, they find themselves on a journey that will decide the fate of the planet. So there you go. No online, no. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm sure it's coming because the game probably just doesn't have. Actually, funny because I'm gonna. Right? That would be twice as loud. To go on break tomorrow. As of today, I'll be going on break. And I'm not going to be able to work anymore for a week. So I need to work. And I know it sucks, I know it's awful, but the bottom line is I have no ETA and no promise that this alarm will even get fixed. It could literally just go off all day. And this is what happens when you unfortunately live with a responsible apartment building and or condo facility where the management is fucking terrible and they don't give a shit about their tenants. If they cared, there would be a full-time super who would be here to fix this kind of stuff, but they don't care. So here's the bottom line. I'm gonna have to start working now. I may wait right now. It's actually 12:55 p.m. So I'm gonna encode this video and upload it to YouTube. And in that period of time, I'm gonna see if the alarm stops doing this. If it does, great. If not, I might have to set up and unfortunately start a stream, maybe even do a pre-stream with it going off and see how bad it is, see if there are ways I can muffle it in the microphone so that most people don't hear it too bad, and then go from there. It's terrible, it's horrible, I'm a prisoner, I cannot wait to fucking move out of here, which I am, don't worry, I'm making much headway in regards to that. And that's it. So thanks for watching the noisiest, most probably annoying release day unboxing you've ever watched, and hopefully this will get fixed, and we'll have gameplay today, and I'll let you know on Twitter. Thanks, everybody.